Hello people, Awesome50 here, and today I'm going to talk about the future of Earth. Yes, this is a different topic to my gaming topic, and I haven't actually done any movie topics just yet. So today I just want to, it's like a bit of a food for thought, speech I'm going to do now. It's not going to be a long video. These videos never are long. I used to do Twitch videos, and I used to spend like 3 hours doing a stream, and nobody watched them, and I don't expect anyone to watch this video. So today I'm going to talk about Earth's future. Yes, going back to games, I've played the game Mass Effect, I've played The Outer Worlds, I'm now playing Starfield, and I've seen all the Star Trek episodes. And I've seen all the Star Wars films, so today I want to talk about Earth's future and what's actually going to happen. Okay, get this, people. I speculate that in the future, that mega corporations, like in the game Outer Worlds, are going to take over the entire planet, because we live in a capitalistic society where these things can actually happen. Yes. So, for example, Donald Trump, he's a massive enterprising tycoon, and he was president of America for a full term, as a matter of fact. Which I don't think it was actually a good thing he was elected, nor a bad thing too much, but he was funny. Agree to disagree. So yeah, imagine if mega corporations like Amazon, for example, Jeff Bezos or whatever, or even Tesla, Elon Musk, what happens if these people were put into power because mega corporations will take over the world and design AI, therefore producing like a future Terminator scenario that causes our, I don't know, post-apocalyptic scenario, which we're going to get in the future, like we see in games such as the Fallout series. We've also got zombie games such as Days Gone and stuff like this, etc, etc, etc. Oh, and another thing, The Last of Us, not to mention that, or Resident Evil. Let's just say like these mega corporations, they do actually design some form of virus or something like that, and it does get out, and people do actually start turning into zombies, and then we've got to like face these zombies and try and survive in the world. Or like a Fallout scenario, where we've got super mutants, we've got feral ghouls, we've got the Scorched in Fallout 76, etc, etc, etc. So, imagine if we put all these things together, and stuff like we've seen in many sci-fi films, and imagine what the world in the future is going to be like. Now, I actually think that the world is going to be controlled pretty much by AI, because AI are probably going to take over human jobs, which they're already doing now in a way. Some people say that AI isn't actually taking over human jobs. These are just machines with, I don't know, human learning protocols, which do the basic algorithms of what humans can do on a low end of the spectrum, for example, such as yourself, I don't know, serving checkouts, for example, like that. Your ATMs which distribute money to you, which, so you don't need to go to the bank to draw money out anymore. And think of it this way, AI is also working when it comes towards purchasing goods through contactless means and using your debit card. I imagine in the future, we're going to get chips in our wrists, or we're going to get chips in our brains, and then when we go to the shop or something like that, we will just have a biometric scan that zaps our eyes, and then we can do anything we want. But the only problem with that, people, is we'll be constantly on the globe. Everybody will see where we are, or they'll trick us and say, we don't know where you are, but everyone can position you on the globe as you speak. Even though they do that already, which people should be aware of, anyone that has Facebook or uses the internet at all, people will be able to see everywhere where you're going, for example. People can position you in the globe now. So think of this, people. When I say look into the future and stuff like that, basically, I'm not too sure if free will's been taken away from us or not. I'm not too sure yet. I do believe we're being controlled in some way or form, but that's not really where I'm going with this video, but it is in a way. So imagine this, people. Set in the future. It's like an Equilibrium, the film, with, Christian Bale. Sorry. Imagine that, where you're being controlled, and you have to take medication every day to suppress your emotions, so that you don't cause any harm. The government and stuff have actually got you controlled, and they know everything you're doing. And if you don't take this medication, there'll be people out there which work for the government which will assassinate you or arrest you or section you for being insane. Now, I've just said so much shit then within under 5 minutes, and it's kind of mind-blowing. So think of it this way. We've got AI around now which can do loads of different things, and you can actually buy a robot, surprisingly, for like, I don't know, $1 million or something like that. Like a high-end robot, if you know the right contacts, you can actually do that. But I believe in the future we're going to end up having smart houses, smart cars, and smart chips, which are going to go inside your brain. And by doing that, everywhere you walk, everyone's going to be able to, you walk through scanners. I reckon you'll be able to walk into a shop. Every time you walk through a shop, you'll walk through a scanner. And when you walk through a scanner, everyone will know everything about you. Your name, your age, your sex you identify as, whether you've got a criminal record or not, or anything like that. And also, I believe that if you walk through these scanners, if you've got a chip in your brain, for example, they'll know if you've got any felonies or anything like that, even if you're not even paying your road tax, for example, or if your vehicle's not insured, because everything, your home, your bills, your documents, your personal life, your family history, all this shit will be on these chips. Food for thought, people. And they'll also have AI walking around the street, dum, 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 which will pop a cap in your ass if you don't actually have this chip in, or if you try and extract the chip. If you try extracting this chip from your head, think of it this way, it'll send an alarm signal to some security company or the police, and they'll come, take you away, forcibly insert that chip back into your fucking head. That's what I think is going to happen in the future. On Earth. On Earth, of course. Now, going back to the mega corporations thing I said, yes, this could happen. We live in a capitalistic society, and imagine if that went out of control, and the rich became richer, and the rich went into power, and the rich went into power. For example, imagine Alan Sugar. Imagine that rich bastard being in power, and him assigning his own cabinet of people and stuff, because they're funding the globe for these mad research projects and technological advancements, which are good. I'm not saying they're a bad thing, but I'm just trying to think of it this way, people. Is this all this really, really good for the Earth or not? Now, you know, I played the game Horizon Zero Dawn, and I remember in that game, I think the plot went something like this, where they created machine robots and stuff like this to enhance the future or whatever. But these robots spiraled into control, and for them to survive, they have to consume biomass, and by doing that, I think it was something like that, they've got to consume elements of the planet, and by doing that, it was killing the planet as they speak. So they had to launch like some kind of failsafe that kind of destroyed everything, and everyone had to like rebuild again. So you thought the game was like set in the past, but it's really not. So that is like some kind of like post-apocalyptic kind of setting in a way. But imagine if with all this AI and mega corporations being in charge and just paying for shit all over the place, and we did actually have AI, and there was an AI uprising, then we'd be stuck in a Terminator setting that's also post-apocalyptic. So basically, where I'm going with this video is just imagine in the future what could actually happen with how fast we're enhancing now. You see? You see what I mean, people? And it's not even just that. With vaccinations and everything these days, people's immune systems are getting pretty good. Now, I once engaged in a topic about natural selection, and with natural selection, that means, for example, humans are still evolving, but our evolution is kind of slowed down. So I'm not too sure if humans in the future could even keep up with the future, for example, because there's no such thing as real natural selection anymore. How natural selection works is, imagine the first giraffes were around. For example, well, all the giraffes with the short necks would go extinct because they can't reach to eat the leaves off the trees, but then the giraffes with the long necks would survive. So through evolution and generation changes and natural selection, that would mean all giraffes in the future would have long necks, for example. But humans, we're killing that in ourselves. We're doing this because every time we have antibiotics or anything like that, it's curing ailments, diseases and stuff like that. And we're not actually evolving to like fight bigger diseases. So in the future, if people, for example, like mega corporations or anything like that, or anything designed in a laboratory, think of it this way: what happens if an illness comes out and then we can't actually beat it with our immune system? And then, for example, we need vaccinations to beat an illness which we can't actually fight, so our bodies can't fight it, for example. Now, that brings me towards the coronavirus incident. Imagine that. There are a lot of conspiracy theories about that, but just think how quick we needed to take a vaccination for that shit. Because our bodies, couldn't really fight it. Well, they could, but not effectively. So again, we're destroying our own natural selection at the same time, so in the future, I think we're going to be doomed like that as well. Yeah. So now let's go into another topic. Imagine if we're really all living in simulated reality. By simulated reality, here's me talking to the camera now, and who the hell knows if I'm actually really sat here. I could be jacked in a pod somewhere, like in the fucking Matrix, think I'm living this life, which I'm really not living. You know? How crazy is that? This could really be happening. Who the fuck knows? You know, maybe I'm really big on my conspiracy theories, but you know, this seems, you know, pretty realistic. You know, because like I said, looking into the future and Earth, you know, virtual reality is a big thing. For example, the game Cyberpunk 2077, when you have Ripperdocs and stuff like that, and I can't remember what it's called, but they sit in the chair and you can like look at things in your chip in your head. You know, what happens if you're stuck in one of them machines and you don't actually realize it? All this could really be happening, people. Who the fuck knows? Food for thought. Food for thought. Serious food for thought. But also, again, we could be plunged into a post-apocalyptic setting in the future. Who knows? Like various games, which I mentioned before, like Fallout and stuff like that. For example, Days and all that stuff. Yeah. Or it could be like a Terminator scenario where AI has their own little bit of an uprising and decides, they don't want to take orders from humans anymore. So they go on like more of a destructive path and like want to make humans extinct so they can, you know, survive and stuff like that because humans are bastards and all this. Or we could be like, for example, I did a review on the game Soma. The future could be like this. What happens if humanity's been destroyed and if we did have chips in our heads, they're going to take these like memories from our brains, put them on a computer, and then put these memories into a robot, and the robot will think it's a human when it's really not a human and only see a human and proceed being a human and try and colonize other planets, like in the game Soma, which I did a review on. So basically, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make my own little thing where I'm trying to look in like actions 1, 2, and 3 to see what the Earth's actually going to be like in the future. For example, like that, by using different like analogies, which I'm trying to throw out there. Or we could end up being like Star Trek, where we're just explorers now. We're exploring the galaxy. We're meeting new races of aliens and stuff like that. Earth is sorted now. There's no real capitalism. You know, world hunger's been, you know, obliterated. Everyone's happy on Earth. Now we're trying to make everybody else happy in the solar system. Now, people, that seems like too much of a happy ending for me. So either we're living in a simulated reality, which is very fucking possible, and because, you know, I'm super glued to my gaming, you know, I believe that could be a very big possibility. Or the world could get destroyed through AI, through mass war, or anything like that, and then we're plunged in a post-apocalyptic setting, or nothing actually happens, we just slow down development, and that's about it. You know? Stuff like this could happen. But also, governmental control. Imagine that, chips in your head. For all we know, we might already have these fucking chips in our head. But what we do know is we do have chips in our phones. Pretty much. And people know where we are, what we purchase, cookies, for example, what we're doing, everything we're doing, everything we do on the internet, somebody, at least one person knows what we're doing. Okay? So yeah, food for thought. Who the hell knows where the world's going? Maybe mega corporations are going to take over the planet like in the game Outer Worlds. Yeah. It's pretty messed up. Pretty messed up video, people. Just food for thought. Yeah. I'm playing Starfield now. Probably be a review on that at some point. Anyway, Awesome 50 out. You need to watch this video.